My name is Janita, and you're watching DONTAE'S Boxing Nation.
DONTAE'S Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So Robert Garcia, he did an interview with Fight Hype, and he said something that was pretty ironic. And I'll tell you why it's ironic, but let me go ahead and first quote exactly what he had to say. Basically, he accused Floyd Mayweather of hurting the sport of boxing. Let me go ahead and read this little piece right here that he said to Fight Hype. Quote, "Floyd did so good in boxing, he made the most money any boxer ever made. He made a lot of money, but somehow it could have hurt boxing a little, because with Mayweather, we never seen those fights that fans want to see when it comes to action and stuff like that. He might have hurt, especially with the pay-per-views and all that. It might have hurt boxing a little bit," end quote. So, we often hear stuff like this. I'm kind of surprised it came from Robert Garcia, though. And the reason why I say that is because this is so crazy. And I was actually looking for the interview because I wanted to play the clip of the interview I did with Robert Garcia talking about Floyd Mayweather and his legacy and what Robert Garcia's family thinks about Floyd. We talked about all of this in this video, and YouTube needs to do something about this, make it a little bit easier to find your own videos, because I have an interview on my own channel and I can't even find the damn interview. I search Robert Garcia, Mayweather under my own videos, and of course a whole bunch of other interviews I did with Robert Garcia came up, but I couldn't find this one. So YouTube needs to do something about that. But anyway, and if any of you guys know how to search your own videos a little bit easier, rather than just once again going to your own personal videos and just typing in the title of the video or tags or something like that. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying, because I wanted to play that video. So it's kind of crazy to me that Robert would say that Floyd Mayweather hurt the sport when Robert Garcia's own father and trainer, he said that Floyd Mayweather may possibly be the greatest fighter of all time. And this is what I asked Robert Garcia, what did he think about his father saying that, et cetera, et cetera. Now, get what Mikey Garcia, Robert Garcia's brother, said. You're not going to believe this. You know what he said? Mikey Garcia said that Floyd Mayweather is my favorite fighter. So you have Robert's brother saying that Floyd is his favorite fighter out of all the other fighters that's not supposed to be quote unquote boring. Robert's own brother says that Floyd Mayweather is my favorite fighter. Okay? Nacho Beristain, just throwing out some names. Nacho Beristain. He says that Floyd Mayweather is the Michael Jordan of boxing. And keep in mind, Nacho said this after Floyd Mayweather beat his fighter, Juan Manuel Marquez. When the guy that you just beat, when his trainer calls you the Michael Jordan and says that you're simply the best after he beats your fighter, the praise gets no higher than that, right? It gets no higher than that. So, when it comes to Robert Garcia, interestingly enough, there's a lot of things that Mikey Garcia or Robert Garcia says that I actually agree with. When it comes to this, obviously, this is not one of the things I agree with. But not only do I not agree with it, but it's 1000% inaccurate and not true. Not only am I going to tell you it's not true, but I'm going to prove it to you in a minute. But before I go ahead and break it all down with stats and numbers, let me go ahead and say this. See, this is why I never really understood why some fans or anyone would say something like, you know, a certain fighter, Floyd Mayweather is boring. As opposed, you notice when people say Floyd Mayweather is boring, they never say, I personally think this and that. They always make it seem like they're stating a fact, right? I mean, it's kind of like if somebody told you pizza is disgusting, right? If somebody told you pizza is disgusting, the first thing you're going to think in your head is, okay, so you're saying you personally don't like pizza, right? So in other words, what that person is saying is personal. He personally doesn't like pizza. Okay? Now, getting back to Robert Garcia. You know, I think the problem with Robert Garcia is I truly believe he's being pressured by his fans. Because, see, Robert Garcia, although his fans, they love him, Robert Garcia's fans, they hate Floyd Mayweather's guts. So that puts Robert Garcia in a tough position because he doesn't want to piss off his fans. But at the same time, I'm sure Robert Garcia, he wants to tell the truth. So he's in a tough situation. Kind of like Oscar De La Hoya, the situation he was in when he told the boxing world that Floyd Mayweather may possibly be the best of all time. When Oscar De La Hoya said that, he got tremendous backlash from his own personal boxing fans. People that loved Oscar De La Hoya and defended Oscar De La Hoya over Floyd Mayweather, they had to hear their favorite fighter praise the guy they can't stand over Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar took a lot of backlash for that. And that's the reason why later on, Oscar De La Hoya, he changed his tune. And he started to say all of the things that his fans wanted to hear him say about Floyd Mayweather. But the problem is, it's too late. Because he already put the truth out for everyone to hear. You guys have to understand something. There is no feeling worse than losing. Losing is a horrible feeling. And what I mean by that is when someone loses to Floyd Mayweather, the fans that hate Floyd Mayweather, they're losing as well. So once again, that horrible feeling of losing sets in. And that's why they talk about, oh, it was horrible, it was boring, it was terrible. But it would have been real exciting if I would have seen Floyd Mayweather get his ass kicked. Now, that wouldn't be boring at all. Anyway, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into Exhibit A. All right, so let's go ahead and check out Floyd Mayweather's highlight results. Now, all I did was just search Floyd Mayweather highlights because what I want to basically do is give you guys an idea of how many fans are actually coming back to admire Floyd Mayweather's work as opposed to other fighters that's not supposed to be considered quote unquote boring, right? Now, the first number I want you guys to pay attention to is this number right here. You see that? 771,000 results when you search Floyd Mayweather highlights. Okay, now I'm just going to give you just a rough estimate of these numbers. We'll start from the top to the bottom. Just kind of, go through the first page basically. First video for the highlights, 701,000. Second video, 447,000. Third video, nearly 5 million, 4,800,000. 3 million. Over a million views, 186,000. 140, 119, 207, nearly 16 million for 1,000, 463, 50, 84, 400, 424, over 4 million views. And the list just goes on and on and on. 400, as you guys are looking at the screen right now. Okay, now let's look at Oscar De La Hoya's highlights. Once again, you look right here on the screen, you'll see right here, as you look up there, it says Oscar De La Hoya highlights. That's all I did. I typed in Floyd Mayweather highlights and I typed in Oscar De La Hoya highlights. Now look at this number right here. 286,000 results when you type in Oscar De La Hoya's highlights. Okay? First video, 72,000. Second video, 328,000. 16,000. 11,000. 870,000. 137, 283, 298, 252, 11, 522, 107. You guys get the idea, right? We're scrolling all the way down to the bottom. There was only one video that was close, and it wasn't even a million. It was 800,000. All right? So what does this prove? This proves that numbers don't lie. And if numbers don't lie, and if we're really trying to figure out what fighter is boring, at least according to the numbers, and I'm not trying to say that Oscar De La Hoya is boring, but for anyone that would suggest that Floyd Mayweather is boring, when way more people are coming back to watch his highlights, you have to really admire a fighter to watch his highlights. You know, because, you know, a fan, he can sit over here and say, oh, well, you know, I just watched the Mayweather, Canelo fight because I was praying that he lost, or whatever the case may be. You know, sure, you could try to convince yourself or whatever, and you could say stuff like that. But when fans come back and watch highlights, these are fans that truly admire these fighters, right? So the reason why I compare Floyd Mayweather, his highlights, to Oscar De La Hoya, because no one would ever call Oscar De La Hoya boring, right? I mean, Oscar De La Hoya, he's the golden boy. You know, people say the only reason Floyd Mayweather is big because he fought Oscar, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But look at these numbers. Look at these numbers. 771,000 results. I keep telling you, man, numbers do not lie. So when we hear fans use this quote unquote word boring, what it basically means is if this man keeps winning, it is the most boring thing ever. I mean, if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense if you really think about it. Imagine you watching your favorite football, basketball, baseball team. They're going against the team you despise, you can't stand. And next thing you know, that team that you hate is blowing out your favorite team. How exciting is that to watch? That ain't exciting at all, right? In fact, a lot of people would just turn the channel. When you see that your team has no chance of winning, you watching football and maybe it's the fourth quarter, it's only about 5 minutes left, and you know there's no way that your team can rally back, a lot of people would just turn the channel. I mean, that's pretty boring. That's pretty depressing to watch, right? So this is exactly how they feel when Floyd Mayweather keeps winning, and they would do anything. I mean, a person would damn near sell his leg just to see Floyd Mayweather lose. This is how we know that when Floyd Mayweather fought against Manny Pacquiao. Matter of fact, let me ask a question. Now, I want you guys to answer this question in your heart, because I know decafs, you may type some ridiculous stuff in the comment section. That's why I want you to be honest with yourself. Let's revisit the Mayweather versus Pacquiao fight. And let's just say, let's switch some of those rounds. You know, let's switch some of those rounds. And let's just say Manny Pacquiao, he won a couple more rounds. In fact, he won more rounds than Floyd Mayweather. Let's say he won 7 rounds to 5. But the fight still played out the exact same way, right? If you heard Michael Buffer or whoever the announcer was say, and the winner is Manny Pacquiao, are you honestly going to sit there and pout and say, man, I don't care that Pacquiao was the first person to beat Floyd Mayweather. That fight was boring. That fight was the most boring fight I ever seen. You know good and damn well the decafs would be jumping up and down. It would be the happiest moment ever. You know, I've had people in the comment section say, my most happiest moment ever is when I see Maidana beat Adrian Broner. Notice, fans that say stuff like that, they're not talking about how entertaining the fight was. That's not where their satisfaction lies, right? They are happy that Broner lost for the first time. They could care less how exciting the fight was. They just wanted to see Adrian Broner lose. So this is how we know this really has nothing to do with boring. All that means is I'm upset that that guy won. And I'd do anything to see the look on his face when he finds out that he lost. I remember before I was covering fights, and we had a fight party, and I think it was the Mayweather versus Cotto fight. And you know, it was a lot of the gym that I invited a whole bunch of people from local boxing gyms, and we had a whole lot of people show up that hated Floyd Mayweather, hated the man, right? And I remember when the announcer basically said, and knew, they'd start jumping up, celebrating, and they were so happy because they thought that meant that Cotto won the fight. And when they found out Floyd Mayweather won the fight, you know, it was back to being pissed off, right? So we know what time it is at the end of the day, and I really don't blame Robert Garcia. I really don't blame Robert Garcia. Like I said before, I mean, you know, Robert Garcia, he has some pretty tough fans, okay? And they pressure him into saying these things. They really do. You know, once again, like I said before, when you have fans that love you, which is Robert Garcia, but they hate Floyd Mayweather's guts, oh, that puts a lot of pressure on you. That puts a lot of pressure on you. Because now you have to please your fans while trying to say something that logically makes sense. Or the other option is to not say something that logically makes sense and say something that you know your fans will accept. So, you know, it is what it is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. DONTAE'S Boxing Nation. I'm checking out all the fans over here at the Mayweather gym.
Mexicali, brother.
Now, where you guys come from? Where you guys?
Mexicali, Baja California.
Mexicali, California. There you go. There you go. That's what's up. And you drove all the way out here to come to the Mayweather gym?
600 miles.
That's That's what it is. That's what it is. So you think that Floyd? So what do you think about Floyd Mayweather? Is he the best fighter of this era right now, or what?
He's the best right now at 154, 147. Anybody.
Yeah.
Everybody that wants to fight him just talks, but they don't fight him.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, look, I mean, we're from Mexico. Look what Canelo did.
Yeah.
Couldn't handle it, man. And Floyd stood right there. There, he got respect from Mexican fans.
I heard
Stood
that.
up and fight, and Canelo couldn't answer him.
Yes.
Welcome to Vegas. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Really happy.
Uh-huh.
Waiting for Mayweather to come, but he's taking forever.
Yeah.
What's going on?
These celebrities, the bigger the star is, the later they come, it seems like, you know.
Right.
So I noticed the TMT hat, you
That's
know.
right.
So I see you're a big fan. Now, where did you come out here from?
I'm from Mexico, but I'm here from Colorado.
Okay.
So we drove all the way over here.
So you drove all the way over here to meet the man
Right.
and watch the fight out here in Las Vegas.
Exactly, that's right.
Yeah. So you seem pretty excited.
I am.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. First time here at the actual
Well, actually,
gym?
this is my second time here.
Okay.
Well, not at the gym. We
Okay.
came here last year for the McDonough fight. with
Okay.
Mayweather. It was fun.
Yeah.
This is our second time here.
Okay, that's good. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, and go Mayweather.
There
Yay.
you go. All right, where'd you guys come in from?
England.
England?
Manchester, England.
Nice.
Floyd's biggest fans.
Floyd's biggest fans from England, huh?
Yeah.
Manchester, huh? All right.
This Floyd's coming home with me.
There you go. All right, guys. Where are you guys from?
Manchester.
Oh, the whole Manchester crew right here, huh?
Check that out. Check that out.
What's the
autograph.
Wow, that is big. That's pretty big. He has Floyd Mayweather's autograph tatted on his forearm.
I'm the greatest.
And the greatest. Muhammad Ali and Floyd Mayweather tatted on your arm. Pretty big,